What is going on, iCoach Nutrition family? Welcome back to another podcast here. Today, we're going to be talking about a very popular topic, which is how to lose weight, right? The secret to losing weight and keeping it off forever, okay? Like you hear it all the time. I don't have a problem with losing weight. I have a problem with gaining that weight back, right? Or I don't have a problem with losing weight. I have a problem with keeping it off, right? And so the name of the game when it comes to losing weight, the secret to losing weight and keeping it off forever is to, ready for it? Drum roll, please. It is to build awareness, right? It's to build awareness and actually realize the fact that you're going to have to change your lifestyle, right? There are a lot of people out there telling you that you don't have to change your lifestyle in order to be able to lose weight and keep it off forever. But the reality of it is you do, right? Your lifestyle is what got you to where you are today, right? For so many clients that I work with, we're combating 30, 40, 50, 60 years of the lifestyle that they have lived up to this point, right? And sure, you might have tried things that have helped you to be able to lose weight for a short period of time, only to gain it back and sometimes even gain it back plus more. And so that's what you've got to realize is that this is a lifestyle change. It's not a quick fix. It's not a short-term thing. It's not something that you can do for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days and expect to be able to create sustainable change. This is a true lifestyle change. Okay. So coming back to the point of building awareness, the only way to change your lifestyle is to start building awareness, right? And how do you build awareness? Well, you build awareness by doing things like working with a coach. You do it by tracking your habits, right? For example, like you have to start understanding, okay, what are the things that actually matter? You've heard me talk about before, kind of this mason jar example, right? What are the things that actually matter the most when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle, right? And so this mason jar example of, hey, the big rocks would be sleep, nutrition, exercise, hydration, stress management, right? Those are the 5 big rocks when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle, right? And everything else, supplements and what foods are good and bad and gluten-free, keto, whatever, right? That's going to be the pebbles and the sand and the water that fill up that mason jar, the things that really just don't matter as much. The big rocks are the things that take up the most space. They're the things that move the needle the most, right? And so what you've got to start doing from a tracking perspective, right? And this is what you're going to do with every single coach that you work with, right? That is helping you to actually create sustainable change, that's helping you to actually lose weight and keep it off forever, which is starting to build awareness around these habits, right? We know that sleep is important. We know that nutrition is important. We know that exercise is important. We know that hydration is important. We know that stress management is important. These are not new things, right? You've heard all of these things before, but here's the game changer. How consistent are you actually being with these things? Right? Are you actually making these things a priority in your life on a day-to-day basis? If I looked at 365 days in a year, right, and I was to assess this last 365 days for you, how consistent are you being with actually prioritizing your sleep and your nutrition and your exercise and your hydration and your stress management, right? I've been doing this for a long time. I've been working with a lot of clients over the last 10 plus years here, right? And the reality of it is we think that we're being a lot more consistent than we're actually being, right? When you tell somebody that they need to sleep 7 to 9 hours a night, there's 1 or 2 people. There's the person that's like, man, I'm not even close. My sleep sucks. I'm a terrible sleeper, right? And they know that they're not getting enough sleep. They know that they're not prioritizing their sleep. And then there's the other person that thinks that they are. They're like, oh, I get that. I prioritize that. You get them to actually start tracking their sleep, and then they realize they're like, oh, wow, I'm not getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. I'm getting it every once in a while, but that's not a consistent habit in my life. They start prioritizing it. Now all of a sudden they're feeling better. They're looking better. They're performing better, right? The other piece would be nutrition. There's a lot of people that think that they eat vegetables and fruits at most meals. They think that they get protein in at most meals. They think that they know how many calories they're consuming on a daily basis. They think that they know how many grams of protein they're eating on a consistent basis. They think that they're eating healthy. But the reality of it is once they actually start tracking this stuff, right? When they start tracking their calorie intake, when they start tracking these nutritional habits, they realize that they're not as consistent as what they actually thought they were, right? I would argue that one of the biggest reasons why America struggles with obesity, again, we're approaching 50% obesity rate in America. One of the biggest reasons why is that most people consume too many carbohydrates and fats, and they don't consume enough protein and vegetables and fruits. And when we say carbs, yes, vegetables and fruits do qualify as carbs, but when I'm talking about carbs, I'm talking about, you know, all of the other carbs, your starches, your grains, and also your processed and refined sugars. Okay. On the exercise side of things, same thing, right? Most people think that they're working out, you know, at least 3 days a week, or that they're meeting those required exercise, you know, that required activity metric there that you'll see, you know, from us.gov or you know, USDA that put out, right? Getting at least your 30 minutes of daily movement a day. But the reality of it is most people aren't doing that, right? Most people are not working out 3 to 5 days a week on a consistent basis, right? They might do it for a month for some challenge, but they're not doing it. That's not the lifestyle they live. That's not what they're doing the majority of the time. Same thing with hydration. You should drink a gallon of water. You should drink half your body weight in fluid ounces of water. Most people think that they're doing that. And then they start tracking it and they're like, oh, wow, I'm way off, right? Stress management. Most people think that they're handling their stress well until something happens. And now they're stressed beyond belief, right? And it goes 0 to 100 real quick. They go from thinking that everything's all good to being in reactive mode. Right. So the point of this is to get you to start understanding that whether you're working one-on-one with a coach or whether you're trying to do this on your own, you've got to figure out a way to start holding yourself accountable. Right. You've got to figure out a way to start building awareness around how consistent you're actually being with all of these different habits. And there are so many different ways to go about doing this. There's tons of apps. There's Google Sheets where you can create a little tracking device here where you can track these habits. You can use an old school calendar there and put an X or an O, right? You can work one-on-one with a coach and use their tools and use that accountability with actually working with a human being, right? There's so many different ways to go about it. But the reality of it is you've got to understand that if you have struggled with your weight your whole life, the lifestyle that you live is not conducive for you living at a healthy body weight and at a healthy body fat percentage. And every single one of these fad diets that you do, every single one of these things that you try, that's a diet, that's a program, that's a coach, whatever, that's not sustainable for the rest of your life, is only going to continue this cycle. It's going to keep setting you up to fail. So my challenge for you would be this, is before you do the next diet or program or challenge or work with the next coach, you need to ask yourself, can I do this for the rest of my life? Right? When you get presented kind of the overall game plan and strategy as to what the approach is going to be from the program or the coach or the diet or whatever, you've got to ask yourself, does this make sense for me? Am I going to be able to do this for the rest of my life? Does this work for my lifestyle, right? And more importantly, in the current season of life that I'm in, right? Because if you can't see that big picture vision, and if you can't actually believe, right, and trust in the process that, hey, this is something that I can do for the rest of my life, then you're setting yourself up to fail, right? And so when I come back to those 5 big rock habits, the things that actually matter, right? If you're not willing to prioritize your sleep, right, and prioritize getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep the majority of the time, and if you're not willing to prioritize your nutrition in terms of like the iCoach plate and building out the majority of your meals like an iCoach plate, right? Or with exercise, if you're not willing to exercise at least 3 days a week, or with hydration, if you're not willing to drink at least half of your body weight in fluid ounces of water the majority of the time. Or if stress management, if you're not willing to work in things into your life that will help you to manage stress so that you're more proactive in your approach versus reactive, right? then you're not going to be able to live a healthy lifestyle. And so these 5 big rocks are all things that regardless of the coach or the diet or the program, these big rocks will be prioritized. They have to be prioritized. And if there's anybody out there that's a coach or a program or whatever that's not prioritizing these things, again, you're setting yourself up to fail. Okay. And you can progress these things and get extremely complicated and dialed in and make things, really challenging in these different areas, or you can simplify that approach and make it as easy as possible. For most people, they need simple, they need easy, right? Because when you simplify things, it makes it a lot easier to be consistent, right? And consistency is the name of the game, right? Most people, they can be consistent for a short period of time because the motivation is high. But as soon as life happens, which it's always going to happen, they get less and less consistent, and then they fall off, they go back to their old habits. So that's really the name of the game here, is how can you actually change your lifestyle? How can you create a lifestyle change, a sustainable lifestyle change? And it's hard. It's going to be hard. Anything worth having in life is hard, right? Let's agree on that from the very beginning, right? But being overweight, being obese, struggling with your weight, struggling with medical issues, dying early, not being able to run around with your kids, not being able to keep up with your kids there, like continuing this into generations, right? Like your habits basically becoming your kids' habits, and then them struggling with all of these different health issues, right? Because you weren't able to break the chain there. I mean, it's choose your hard. Do you want things to be hard now to then be easier? Or do you want to make things easy now to then make things harder? Right? And that's kind of the name of the game here, is we've got to, when we think to ourselves, what is the secret to losing weight and keeping it off forever? It's the unpopular fact that you're going to have to change your lifestyle. The lifestyle that you're currently living, the lifestyle that you've been living, has gotten you where you are today. And if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you have to commit to living a healthy lifestyle. It sounds easy. The execution is hard. Okay. So if you're on the podcast or on YouTube, listening to this, watching this right now, go please request to join the iCoach Nutrition Family Facebook group, right? There's so much free value that is in that group. And if you're one of my clients that I'm working with one-on-one here, or any client that I've worked with in the past, right? It's your job to pay it forward. If you've been able to make this lifestyle transformation, if you've been able to create success in your own life, right? And if you're a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years later, still living a healthy lifestyle, it's your job to pay it forward. Because again, we're approaching 50% obesity rate here in America. And it's because people are more confused than ever as to what they need to do to be healthy, to lose weight and keep it off, right? And it's because of the industry. It's because of the supplements, the diet industry, the supplement industry, the influencers, all of these people out here that are trying to sell you on a short-term fix, a quick fix, a short-term solution there to your problem. There's never going to be a weight loss pill or a weight loss surgery or some crazy extreme diet like carnivore or keto or whatever that's going to work for you long-term, right? Just like with finances and money and obtaining success in life from a financial standpoint there, all of these get-rich-quick schemes that are out there, if they sound too good to be true, they're too good to be true. No different than with losing weight and keeping it off forever. If you think that you can just drink ketones or take a pill or get a surgery and that's going to fix all of your problems, well, you're in denial, my friend. Because in order to actually lose weight and keep it off forever, and to be able to actually live a healthy lifestyle, you have to commit to living a healthy lifestyle, right? And for so many of you, this is a lifestyle change. It's a lifestyle transformation. And it doesn't happen overnight. Doesn't happen in a week or in a month. This is a process that takes years and years and years, because it's a process and a journey that is a commitment for the rest of your life. There's no end date with this. Everything else that you've tried had an end date. It was a 30-day challenge. It was get the weight loss surgery and all your problems are gone. It was take this weight loss pill and report back to me here in 30 days. Living a healthy lifestyle takes work, and it takes work for the rest of your life. Doesn't mean that you need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You're a product of what you do the majority of the time. Okay, so let this be motivating to you. Let this be encouraging to you. And if you ever have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here, the iCoach family's here, and we want to see you succeed. We're cheering for you. Hope you have an amazing day, amazing week. Until next time, see you, my friends.